Good morning. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. Hey, this is the Coffee Break Show. I'm Vickie Helm, and I am so glad you've joined us today. Listen, if you're new, we share insights, we have some fun, we share motivation, we share inspiration, and then, of course, we go on with our day, only this time it's a little more productive, a little brighter, a little happier. This is the place where we check in together. Everybody checks in, and we say hello and good morning. So if you're a solopreneur, if you're working at home, if you're a mom, if you're somebody and you're just tuning in, welcome. Do me a favor and put your name down below. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. And just above, about right here somewhere, right about there, you'll find that you can click a link that says StreamYard Facebook, and it gives permission for me to see your name because I'm going through StreamYard right now. Welcome, everyone. I see you popping on. It's so glad to see you right here. Do me a favor and put your name down here on the side wherever you're seeing it. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I see you coming on. Hey, Vickie, it's a great day. You got that right. I'm so glad to see you. I'm going to just turn this off so that I'm not hearing all the dings all the time. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome aboard. Today's a really important day. I mean, we're talking about January. We're talking about creating our goals. Yesterday, we talked about what our word was for the year. Yesterday, we talked about what we were going to focus on. But today, I want to talk about something that I think is one of the most important aspects of the human condition, and that is self-esteem and how to have authentic self-esteem. And so a lot of people think they have self-esteem when they actually don't. They have a good sense of self or whatever, but self-esteem is very different. It is not arrogant. It's not one-sided. Self-esteem is something inside you that is with you all the time. It sets the tone for every moment of every day of how you're doing that. And today I'm going to be doing a big reveal. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I learned to develop my self-esteem. And that means sharing with you things that were painful, things that were like, really hard for me. And I want to be as open and as transparent as I possibly can. And so what I remember, especially through my teen years, now I'm going to give my age away. I was in high school in the 70s. Get over it. So anyway, my ego is like, okay, I just gave my age away. So when I was in high school, I went to a fairly wealthy school, and my family was not fairly wealthy. But we moved into this neighborhood. My dad worked his butt off for me. He worked really hard for me, and I made him a promise. I made him a promise that if he let me go to the high school I wanted to go to, which I did, I would never cut a class, ever. I never cut a class. Hey, you guys, I see you on board. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor, check in, put your name down here and say hello. Karen says, let's see your name by going to. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Just come on board and say hello, and put your name in there. I see you watching, but I want to see you engage as well. So put your name and join the conversation with us. That would be great. So anyway, in this time where you are to the point where you want to create real self-esteem, the only way you can do that is to get real. I mean, really get real and know how to be real when everything else is against you, when the whole world looks at you like a pariah or something that is just horrible. How can you learn to love yourself? Because when you can learn to love yourself, you can create a quality of life. And the first thing we have to go through is getting to the point where we're true to who we are. We're true to what and who we are in the moment. If we can be true to who we are, then we can start to acknowledge what we think we are. So when you are true to who you are, it's a gateway. It's a gateway to knowing or getting to know who you are. It's a gateway for you to be able to step in and say, this is who I am today. I want to let you know I made some notes for today. This is who I am, or at least I think I am in this moment. And that's the thing where we want to begin to look at. Because the truth is, your mind does not provide you with self-esteem. It never has, it never does, it never will. In fact, most people's minds are pretty negative. So if you believe what your mind says about you, you're not going to have great self-esteem all the time. Your beingness is who you actually are. So what is it that Wayne Dyer says? We are we are spiritual beings having a human experience. The spiritual being is the part of you that is, that's really you. The spiritual part of you that is actually you, that is the spiritual sense of you. That part of you is the true part. That's the authentic part. Good morning, Jane. It's nice to see you popping on. She says authenticity is so important. Yes. If you cannot be authentically you, then you can't be authentic in the world. You have to be willing to enjoy the love and the pain and everything about who you are. And who you are is actually soul. Who you are is actually exactly what Wayne Dyer says. You're a spiritual being. That spiritual being is the soul of you. When you die, you're no longer Jane or Karen or Vickie or Robin. You're no longer that person. You're here for that moment, just like this. It's a fleeting moment, a second in time that you get to be this personality. The personality has the brain connected with it. The personality does. The soul doesn't. It's a divine being. It's a divine creature. It's a divine moment. That is who you actually are. When you can touch that, when you touch that or learn how to become that or let that out, that has all of your self-esteem in it. All of it. All of your self-esteem happens when you get to touch your soul. So how do you do that? Well, that's the first things first is you have to understand the difference between the personality of you here and the soul aspect of you here. So the soul aspect of you and the personality aspect of you have blended here together to make this lifetime. You as Jane, or you as Robin, or you as Suzanne, or you as Karen, whoever you are in this moment, it's only like a character in a movie you're playing. Yes, the character doesn't have self-esteem. The inner being of who you are, that's where your self-esteem lays. And when you can go ahead and walk and talk and work and be from that part of you, you will have immediate access to self-esteem. So what happened that I noticed was that when I cared a lot about what everybody thought of me, oh my gosh, how do I look? What do I do? What do I have? What do I know? All of that comes from your mind. Your mind is never going to say you're good enough. Your mind is usually going to say, hey, Suzanne, nice to see you, girlfriend. Your mind is usually going to say right now, this right here, your mind is going to say, you're not good enough. Oh, look at them. And it's going to compare. It's going to contrast. It's going to say all these negative things. Rarely does it say, good job. You did a great job. And what happens with self-esteem is we let our mind control the conversation, not our soul, not our heart. And thus we lose discernment. The discernment aspect of you that says, I am a soul. Now, here's the thing with a soul. The soul is the sheer perfection of God, the way he made you perfectly. That person in there, that beingness, that person that you identify as your personality and name, that thing inside there that pulses, it has creativity. It has knowingness. It has beingness. It has seeingness. Even when you get on, it first has it there. And when you're in that state of knowingness, you'll know that you are authentically wonderful, and that that part of you is the part that's supposed to be in charge. And as long as your mind is in charge, you're not going to feel so great. But if you get down to the nitty gritty, the real nitty gritty about the human experience, and you get to the point where you're touching into that divinity within you, you'll always feel great. You'll always feel and have authenticity and have real self-esteem, authentic self-esteem. I want to say hi to Robert because he popped on. Hey, 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 happy Friday. Nice to see you, buddy. Now playing the part of Robert Stern in 2020 is Robert C. Stern. You got that right. That's exactly what's happening right now. And the truth is, unfortunately, we try to build success with our minds. And when we try to build success with our minds, we are going to run into wall after wall after wall. The part of us that keeps us tenacious, the part of us that keeps us creative, the part of us that keeps us, with successful ideas and successful outcomes and successful things, all of those things come from the soul. Now, the mind is the thing that calculates for us or helps us read something because we've learned how to read, or helps us negotiate or have a conversation. But it isn't the creative aspect. And that creative aspect is in your heart. And if we disconnect from our heart and we let what we know, because we think we are what we know, rule our day, then we're disconnected from the part of us that is self-esteem. And the question is, it's not about finding self-esteem. It's not about hoping you get self-esteem. It's about looking deep within you and letting out your self-esteem, knowing the difference between your mind and what it's supposed to do, and your heart and what it does. And your soul and your heart, when they are together like that, they're working together, that makes your self-esteem and you come out, because that part is you. The mind serves a purpose, but it isn't your purpose. It isn't who you are. Your mind serves a purpose. It's not you as purpose. Your heart and your soul. Hey, Becky, nice to see you, girlfriend. Your heart and your soul, that's where all of your purpose is. The thing that's really great about creating real self-esteem, and I mean authentic self-esteem, is that we have to quiet the mind. When we quiet the mind, there's this little peaking of awareness that comes up. There's this person that comes up. It pops up and it's like looking around. And when the mind starts its jabbering, it says, nope, 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 I'm here right now. I'm here right now. I am here right now. You take second place to me. And when we get to the point where we're checking out and we're like, hey, I'm here right now, and you be quiet for a minute, we're touching what is called the I am. The I am. And whatever you put after that, you can become and transform. I am, and then loving and kind. I am healthy and strong. I am whatever that I amness is. I am creative. I am prosperous. Whatever you want to put after that, and believe, that's what you start to become. That's what unfolds. See, your mind is a very negative thing. It's probably learned every negative tool ever. You're not smart enough. You're not tall enough. You're not short enough. He's not going to like you. She's not going to like you, blah, 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 blah. And it's in a constant state of comparing you to others. But if we're all like snowflakes, know that you are a big part of humanity. So we're all snowflakes. We get it. All of us. I'm sorry, Republicans. All of us are snowflakes. Just kidding. Just kidding. Work with me here. Work with me here. So if we get to the point where we know we're all individual and we all sparkle, yet we all are H2O in a crystallized form, so I don't offend my Republican people here and friends, I love you, snowflakes, then because they're all individual as they fall, yes? They're all individual as they fall. And when we meet that aspect of ourselves and say, what's my inner snowflake? Now, I really want, don't get me wrong, I'm not being political here. I'm using a weather analogy right now to express a point. Remember when you were little and they said all the snowflakes, see that they're all different and they're all delicate and beautiful? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your individuality, your inner individuality. Now, a lot of you know that I'm married to Robin Helm, and I have been married to Robin Helm for like, I don't know, 15 years. I love you, babe. But I remember the very first time I actually had to admit to myself that I was not straight. I was definitely gay. And I remember that first conversation with myself, that the first pain of feeling like, like I said, I grew up in the 70s. It was not okay to be gay in the 70s. It's not like now, like, oh, I can marry who I want and I have equal rights and I have this. No. You could be thrown out of the military and spend 6 months in a psych ward if you were gay. They could fire you from your job. You couldn't get housing. You couldn't get an apartment. They could not give you a phone line. It was not easy back then, not easy at all. And everyone hated you. It was like the most hated thing on the planet was to be what I was. And so there was a point where I had to just admit to myself, this is who I am, in spite of the entire world's unhealthy view of who I was or what they thought I was. And I had to live in that hate. I had to live every single day with that. Now, people who have experienced racism, because I have seen it big time in this world, big time, I have seen racism happen. And when we have to love who we are in spite of what the world thinks of us, that's when we have to know ourselves from a soul place. And I remember, I'm going to tell you a story really fast about racism I experienced. I had, remember the scene from The Princess Bride? I'm reading from Robert Stern right now. So Robert popped in. Everybody's saying, hi, Becky. So hi, Becky. I hope you're still here to receive that. Remember the scene from The Princess Bride? I'm Inigo Montoya. I've come to avenge my father. Nothing could stop him. He kept believing. Yes, he kept believing. However, what I want to talk about today is authentic self-esteem. And authentic self-esteem is loving yourself enough. Because the most important reason I'm saying this to you is that it is my authentic self-esteem that has brought me the success and wealth I have. My authentic, real self-esteem. My first hurdle was having to live succeeding despite the fact that people hated who I was. Now it's different. Now Obama came and made everything legal and blah, 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 and it's all good. Most people are okay with. Yes, there's still some people out there it's like, yeah, we don't like gay. But you know what? It's the same thing. It's like, at least if you're gay, you can hide that you're gay. But if you're a person of color, you can't hide that. You can never hide it for the rest of your life. And I have seen it in front of me while at work. People come in and start racist things or say the N-word or do things like that. These kinds of things are an opportunity for you to remember to love yourself in spite of what the world says. And I think that this is such an important thing because the mind judges. It judges you and it judges another. And what is more harmful about the mind is if you don't separate the mind from who you actually are, you'll start believing the mind. And that mind will carry you right into the ditch. It'll tell you stuff that is not true about you. When you speak from the soul, you will have wisdom. When you speak from your mind, you can have arrogance and ego. When you speak with love, and remember, what my friend Donnie says this all the time, and I take it to heart so much. He says, Anything that is not spoken in love isn't isn't real. From the, if anything not spoken with love, from love, isn't real. And I get that because there's a lot of people who think their self-esteem is what they have, how successful they become, how much money they have, or what they know. Let me tell you what I know. They can tell you what they know, but they can't manifest anything. But they've learned a lot and they continue to learn a lot. And we have a tendency to think that being smart and knowing how to maneuver through stuff is self-esteem. That's not self-esteem. I'm going to go over here and read some stuff. You guys are all now really coming in super fast. Let's see. Robin said self. Robin said it was a struggle to be authentic self. Yes, automatically. Karen says, authentic self-esteem is loving yourself enough. You deserve to be loved by you. Yes, Robin, I believe this is hard for everyone for different reasons. Do not always trust your mind. Speak from your soul, or at least learn from your soul. Feel your soul, because you know what? The issue is that we've learned to use words to communicate over and over and over again. But what we know is that the heart and the soul don't use words. They use feelings and moments of opportunity where you have to become aware and see the signs. And if we're very mindy, and this is the only thing we have, we're missing two other portions of us that help bring authentic self-esteem. Suzanne says, I'm white, straight, blonde, female, and I have been threatened with racism as a minority. Wow. However, when it happened, I politely showed the ignorance in a way that made them realize the nonsense of their perception. That's great, because I can't imagine anybody not liking you. You're so wonderful. It made me tear up a little bit. Can't hide from being a white woman either. So I guess what you're saying is racism is all around, but it's very predominantly over the years been minority. Anything that is not spoke with love is not real. Donald Gifford. That's right. Thank you. Authenticity is the daily practice. This is Robert who's saying this. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who you think you were supposed to be and embracing who you are. Brene Brown. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And it's, to me, authenticity is also the willingness to meet who you are, the willingness to meet who you are from your soul. So when you meet who you are from your soul, you're not your personality. Your soul is a very deep and inside being. And it's usually quieter. I know for me, when I'm in my soul and I'm like right now, I'm very much in my mind. I'm reading here and I'm looking down there and looking at things, and I have notes over here, and I'm very mindy, tracking myself with my mind. And I'm also tracking, like when Suzanne talked about what she said and somebody said something racial to her. I mean, that is like, if you knew Suzanne, she's as good as earth. And it made my heart go up in my throat. I'm like, that's my friend. You don't do that. And so then I let myself feel it. I let myself feel my tenderness about having that. That's the authenticity of the moment for me. And so the vulnerability of being able to share it with you or talk about it with you comes because I have self-esteem. I have this point in me where I'm connected to that part of my soul in such a moment that I trust it. I trust it to lead me, to guide me, to show me, to teach me, to love me, to care for me, because it's the aspect of me that is connected to the divine, that is the divine. And when I live that, what do I become? I become the divine. I don't become what I know. And the divine has never once led me astray, ever. It is only provided for me so that I could grow and see and learn and be and have blissfulness in my life. I love Brand. Robert, thank you for sharing this. That was powerful. Jane said, training the mind to stop the negative inner chatter. Yes, that's the thing I work on the most. The second that that comes out, there's that. And the more I learn about my mind, the more I learn about how crafty it is. I'm like, oh God, you snuck in the back door with that little thing that I believe. Nope, done. And it's very interesting how the mind can hook you with your desires or with your lies or with your past, or it's a constant daily job to train the mind and have it be second place. And you know what? Mine doesn't like second place. It wants to be up front. It wants the ego to be up front. And it's a constant job for me on the daily. So thank you for that, Jane. That was really important. Suzanne says, Brene, stupid autocorrect brand. I love Brene. Oh, I get it. I love brand. That was funny. Thank you for that, Suzanne. That was cute. A Smart Life Club says, great quote. Thank you for sharing, Robert. 2019 made me realize for myself to stop trying to please everyone else. I need to please me first. That's an interesting statement. I want to say that when we live from our soul, we are immediately pleased with whatever is given to us, because there's a collaboration between the universe and myself. And when I do that, that is exactly what Robert's saying. When we need to please ourselves, we need to listen in for ourselves. When we're doing the joint venture with the universe, then what happens is we feel that bliss and we feel taken care of. I feel taken care of by the universe. I have for so many years. It's decades and decades and decades of feeling like that. And I want to give a shout out right now. Becky, I hope you're on. Oh, gosh. I really learned a lot about living that way from you. And I want to thank you for that. That is a difficult realization, Robert. Congratulations. Somebody said hi to Karen and hi, Robin. It's a yellow heart, so I'm going to think that that's Becky who's still on. I hope you are. Suzanne said, I worked construction for my dad in the 80s. Racism is everywhere. It's up to us to show our intelligence in the moment. But in order to do this, we must believe in our worth, and that is our self-esteem. I also say, because that's so profound, Suzanne, but I also want to say just our humanity. We're all humanity. Our humanness is a point where we can have relating, like, hi, this is me, warts and all. This is my humanness. I'm not the ideal perfect person that media paints for us. I'm not this years old. This isn't my show. And I'm 27 and blonde hair with blue eyes. This is who I am. This is me. This is what I am. I'm not like, hi, I'm Vickie and I weigh 110 pounds and I don't eat anything. Nope, not me. Never going to happen. I would tell you now. And so when we look at this, we have to just accept who we are in the moment and still love us in spite of that. And there's this cheerfulness, this joyfulness, this acceptance. When we accept who we are, we can begin to open up and lighten up inside about who we are and just love who we are. It's like, I'm sorry, my friend Suzanne, I love her to death. She's over 6 feet tall and all her kids are taller than me. And when I walk into the house, I'm always the shortest one there. It's just how it is. But everybody still loves me in spite of being short. And I still love them in spite of being tall. It just is. That's the flavor of humanness. That's the flavor of humanness. You get to enjoy the aspects of other people, not criticize it. Vickie, this is a powerful live today. Thank you for being you, Vickie. Your authenticity and willingness to share is such a gift. Thank you. I am here. That's right. You are. I am here. Thank you. I feel you, Becky, and I know that's you because I hear you say I am here. Thank you for that. I know you receive me. There's a Wayne Dyer quote. We are not our bodies or our possessions or careers. Who we are is a divine love. And that Wayne Dyer, we are not our bodies or possessions or our careers. Who we are is divine love, and that is infinite. Thank you. That was an interesting way that it came through to me. It probably is this beautiful little thing. But yes, that's the point. And when we work with our minds, we're not going to have the quality of self-esteem that we are. Now, I'm going to challenge you, and this is the last thing I want to leave you with for today. We are the essence of self-esteem because we are divine love. We are this. And as long as your mind is sitting on top, ruling everything, can you see how you can't tap into this? But when we begin to travel down to the heart and the soul and check it out and feel it, and we get to the point where we're true to who we are, and we can do that, then we can begin to know what we really are. And with that comes your human superpowers, the ability to transform. That's a superpower. The ability to be non-judgmental because we understand soul more. That's a superpower. The ability to create something out of nothing when the odds are against you. That comes from the soul. That comes from the superpower. The ability to be guided and shown what to do moment to moment to moment. That's a superhuman power. You see, success doesn't come just out of hard work, but it comes out of hard work in the correct direction. And doesn't even have to be hard work. It could be fun work. It can be creative work. It can be everything. But when it moves from here, instead of here being the leader, when this is the leader, you will find authentic self, authentic love, superpowers, and you will feel absolutely blissful living from that place. So Suzanne says, we get to appreciate each other, not criticize. Love this. That's right. And we do, girlfriend. We appreciate each other. We never criticize. But if there was a criticism to make, I would say it is always that I am right. I'm just saying. Okay, so Karen says the ability to transform is a superpower. That's right. The ability to extend the love that we are. That's right. That's what we give out. We extend the love that we are. Deeper conversations. Listen, we're going to continue to talk about growing self-esteem and growing love because I will tell you this. All of your dreams, all of your wants, you will get to walk with. And it's way more fun done out of love from your soul, meeting you as who you are and learning to love you than when your mind is running the show. Finally, just like you right now, Vickie, thank you. Mwah, thank you. Silly girl. Thank you, Suzanne. I knew you would laugh. Beautifully stated. Thank you. All right. Peace out, guys. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. No, it's Friday. See, I'm discombobulated from the holiday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out. Remember, live rich, live loud, live smart. Mwah! Bye.